he says, "Look at this," and he mockingly cries. Correct?
He
Correct.
did cry or pretend to cry on the clip.
That's a question.
Yes.
Thank you. And then he says, "It's as phony as a $3 bill." Correct?
He does say that, yes.
And this video of Mr. Jones mocking the parents was clipped and put up on YouTube, correct?
You mean that whole video was put up on YouTube?
Let's start with the whole video. It was, right?
Oh, yes. All of the videos were uploaded to YouTube.
Right. And Facebook, yes?
I believe so, yes.
And Twitter, correct?
I believe so.
Remember yesterday, Ms. Paz, I asked you some questions about Google Analytics.
Yes.
And let's just start here. By the way, did you do anything last night? You remember you testified yesterday that InfoWars does not use Google Analytics, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, based on my conversations, right.
In fact, I think the court had to ask you to answer that yes or no, and you said InfoWars does not use Google Analytics, correct?
Right, based on my conversations with the employees, yes.
Wait a second. Yesterday you testified that the only conversation you had about Google Analytics was with a gentleman named Blake Rye, correct?
I did have a conversation with Blake Rye, yes.
You just testified that it was based on your conversation with employees. Are there any others?
I don't know if Alex said that to me, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So your sworn testimony is that the only employee that you can testify that you spoke to about Google Analytics was Blake Rye.
That's the one that I recall, yes.
And so that's the only one that you're going to testify to that you spoke to about it, correct?
Yes, I had a long conversation with him about it.
And Blake Rye was very clear with you that InfoWars does not use Google Analytics, correct?
That was what was conveyed to me.
Thank you. And that's what you conveyed here.
Yes.
Now, let's start with what is Google Analytics?
I can't really get into the science of it. I'm not that technologically savvy, but basically it's an analysis of the number of visits to the unique pages. So InfoWars is comprised, any website is comprised of a number of pages. Each article has its own unique URL, and then it will keep track of, so to speak, how long people are on the page for, bounce rates, how many visits to a page, etc., and then rank them.
So, and let's see if we can break that down a little bit further. I appreciate that explanation. So, Google Analytics, let's start with this, is a software program, yes?
Sure, run by Google.
Right. And so, if you're a business, you can get the Google Analytics program for your website, yes?
I believe so, yes.
And what that program does is it allows you to track, and let's just walk through some of these things. It allows you to track the number of visitors to your website.
Right.
It allows you to track when they come to your website, correct?
Yes.
How long they stay on your website?
How long they stay on each page, yes.
Right, how long they stay on each page, correct?
Right.
What they click on?
Yes.
Okay. It allows you to track whether when somebody comes to the website, they end up also going to the store, correct?
Yes, there's a way to track that. Mm-hmm.
And it tracks, if they go to the store, how much time they spend at the store, yes?
Yes.
It can tell you which products they view when they go to the store, yes?
Yes.
It can track whether they buy something, correct?
Yes.
It can track how much they spent, correct?
Yes.
this is the type of data that is very valuable to a business that you use, correct?
Yes.
Because it allows you to track basically how your company's doing, right?
Sure.
Are you reaching people? Are they coming, right?
Are they staying?
Are they staying?
Yes.
What's bringing them there?
Yes.
Correct? How much money you're making off them, right?
Sure.
And so any company that wants to really be able to assess how well they're doing and why, this program can be very powerful.
Could be, yes.
Okay. But it also could be very, very revealing to a jury that wanted to understand how that business is working, correct?
I mean, it provides a lot of information.
Right.
Yes.
And it would be very, very revealing to a group of plaintiffs that really wanted to understand what was happening with the business and why, correct?
I mean, what happens with the content and how it results in translating into funds and stuff like that. Sure, yeah. It has a lot of information there.
And when you came in here and testified yesterday, that InfoWars didn't use Google Analytics. By the way, Blake Roddy, let's just talk about Blake Roddy.
Sure.
Blake Roddy currently runs the e-commerce side of business.
Yes.
Right? So, went through this a little bit in opening, but the different platforms that InfoWars uses to sell stuff is InfoWarsStore.com.
Yes.
InfoWarsShop.com.
Yes.
They have an Amazon store.
Yes.
They have an eBay store.
I think so, yes.
They have an InfoWars Life page where they sell stuff.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. They have a website, Free World Outlet, where they sell stuff, correct?
That doesn't sound familiar, but I'll accept your representation that it does.
No.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay, you don't know. So,
I don't know. It doesn't sound
familiar.
familiar.
If Free Speech Systems also runs an online retail platform called Free World Outlet.
I don't know.
Free Speech Systems doesn't know
Right.
that. Okay, fair enough. But Blake Roddy supervises all that, yes?
I believe that's his current role, yes.
And that's a very important role within the company, yes?
Sure.
And he reports directly to Alex Jones, correct?
Everyone in the company reports to Alex, so yes.
Right. And you're aware that Timothy Fouché used to be his boss, Blake Roddy's boss, right?
I believe so, yes.
Because Timothy Fouché used to have that same job.
Before he left, yes, in 2019.
Right, all the way through 2019.
Right.
Starting back, I don't think you could tell us yesterday, but
I can't remember when he
before
started.
2012.
It was before Sandy Hook.
Right. Okay. Now, you're aware that there's been an issue in this case about, put it this way, you're aware that the plaintiffs in this case have sought that Google Analytics data, correct?
It was in the discovery request. Yeah, I'm aware, yes.
And you're aware that the data, the Google Analytics data, all this stuff that we're talking about, from 2012 onward, that data was not produced, correct?
Objection, Judge. It assumes that it was available to InfoWars that they had.
I think we should probably side on this. The question I asked you was whether that data was not produced. There was an objection. I think you testified yesterday that Since 2012, InfoWars has had Google Analytics, they just don't use it, right?
That's what was conveyed to me, so yes.
And they, because they had it and it was on their website, they had access to the data if they wanted to, they just didn't use it, correct?
I believe that's what we talked about, yes.
And you're aware that the data hasn't been produced here, correct?
I don't know if it's been produced or not. I don't know what's in production. I have seen Google Analytics and associated with this case.
But nothing in the production that you've seen ever suggested to you that InfoWars actually uses the data, right?
All I saw was there was a lengthy Google Analytics page. It didn't say anything about what, if anything, we did with that material. So,
let me just ask my question again.
Right.
Okay. Nothing you've seen in the production suggested to you that InfoWars ever used Google Analytics, correct?
Nothing that I had reviewed, no.
So nothing that you saw contradicted what Mr. Roddy told you, that they just didn't use it, right?
I didn't have any reason to doubt it, correct?
Now, the one exhibit that the jury has seen related to the Google Analytics are those charts beginning in 2009 that we've seen, where we show the page views, the sessions, the users.
Right.
And I showed you that yesterday. Right?
I think I've seen that in the production,
right.
so yes.
But even after you saw that, you testified, yeah, but they don't use it. Fair?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we pull up exhibit 123 just for the witness, not full yet.
$123, did you say?
Yes.
I think that is full.
You have it as full? Attorney Farrar, do you have it as full?
No, I do not.
I don't think it is. Okay. Ms. Paz, I'm going to ask you about this.
Sure.
This is an email from Tim Fruget, correct?
That is what it looks like, yes.
Dated July 10th, 2014.
That's what it looks like, yes.
2 months after the video we just saw, Howard and Mr. Jones, yes?
Approximately 2 months later, yeah.
And Mr. Fruget is sending an email to a rep for a lending company, correct?
Are you referring to the email address?
No. I'm referring to, do you have the body of the email for you?
Yes. May I just read it?
Yes, please.
Sure.
See that?
Yes, it seems to be talking about advertising and such.
I'll offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
I didn't hear you, Attorney.
I'm sorry, Judge. No objection.
Thank you.
Let's pull this up for you. All right. Now, hold on a second. I'm sorry. Let's go to the bottom first, okay? All right. Now, this is an email from a guy named James Garvey, correct?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
At selflender.com. Yes?
That's what it says.
And it's sent to an email advertise@infowars.com, right?
Yes, one of the other general email boxes.
Anybody who wants to advertise with infowars.com, they can send this email and say, hey, what do you charge us to advertise with you?
Right.
Okay. And this guy, Mr. Garvey, says, I'm the co-founder of selflender.com, a website that helps U.S. consumers build credit by creating a small amount of debt and then paying it off, right?
That's what it says, yes.
We believe that your U.S. consumers would be a great fit for the target demographic, right?
That's what it says.
It's a company that basically puts people into debt, right?
I don't know anything about this company.
Okay. Let's go up to the next one. And you'll see here that somebody from responding from the advertise@infowars.com address says, James, the website seems very interesting. Could be a good fit for our audience. And he asked him about what his monthly budget might be, correct?
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's from Tim.
Right. I think we'll find out it is from, oh, he signs it.
Yes, he signed his name.
Got it. Okay, let's go up to the next one. Mr. Garvey says, thanks for getting back to me. And he talks about the types of ads that they'd like to run. He says he's got a test budget for about $5,000.
That's what it says, yes.
So the idea here is that this lending company that asks people to take on a small amount of debt in order to build their credit is going to advertise to the InfoWars audience, correct?
Sure.
Because they think the InfoWars demographics would be a good target for them.
That's what it says.
Okay, let's go up to Tim's email. Yeah, okay. So he says, sorry for the delay. Unfortunately, we do not have a current media kit at this time, but I can give you some info about everything. And I just want you to look at the attachments. Do you see those?
Yes.
And you see he attached his GCN affiliates. And you know GCN stands for Genesis Communications Network?
Yes.
So that's all the radio stations that Mr. Jones goes out to, yeah?
Correct.
And then it says InfoWars audience demographics, and there's a JPEG.
That's what it says, yes.
And then there's an attachment that says Google Analytics from InfoWars, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Let's go back to the email. And he says, first of all, he kind of recites what their audience numbers are, right? In the first paragraph. 790,000 likes on the Facebook page. They're going to charge them $1,000 for a Facebook post, right?
That's what it says, yes.
If you go down to the second paragraph, he says, over the last 90 days, we have received 99.8 million page views with 14.6 million unique users. And you know, those are the same types of categories of data that we saw in the Google Analytics spreadsheet yesterday, right?
Page views and unique users, yes, are some of the columns that are on the Google Analytics.
And then it says, I have attached a screenshot of our audience demographics from Alexa and Google Analytics. Do you see that?
From Alexa and Google Analytics, yes.
Right. And if we go down to the attachment, let's just scroll through. And first you'll see, as we saw in the attachments, you'll see all the radio affiliates. That's these, right?
I see that, yes.
Yeah. And we'll go down a little bit more. And we see the audience demographic information here, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Okay. And then let's go down to the last page. And you'll see here, am I correct, Ms. Paz, that this is Google Analytics data, isn't it?
It looks like the top of that Google Analytics page.
Right. And if you see on the top right-hand corner, it shows a date range, March 31st, 2014 to June 29th, 2014.
I see that, yes.
Okay. And by the way, that happens to overlap with the two appearances that Halvik made, right?
He was on right before that in earlier March.
Right, and he was on in May.
And then he was on again, yes.
Thank you. And you see here all the different data that Tim Fruget is using to give to this potential advertiser, correct?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Okay. Is it still your testimony, Ms. Paz, that InfoWars doesn't use Google Analytics?
I hadn't seen this before, but like I said, can only really convey what's been conveyed to me, so.
You've seen it now.
I have seen it, yes.
Is it still your testimony that InfoWars doesn't use Google Analytics?
I don't know at this point what they do or don't do with it.
Well, let me see if we can. Help out here. Let's go to Exhibit 126, not in evidence. Just pull it up, please, for Ms. Paz. Do you see that, Ms. Paz?
Yes.
This is an email from Tim Fruget again, this time to a gentleman named Buckley Hammond, correct?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Buckley Hammond is Alex Jones' cousin, yes?
He is a relative, yes.
Also an InfoWars employee.
He was at one point, yes.
Pretty senior in the organization.
I mean, I can't say what his position was, but he was very trusted by Alex because they were relatives. So I could put it that way.
Okay. So I offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
All right, let's pull up 126. Just pull up, yeah, exactly. Okay. This is an email dated August 20th, 2014, correct?
Yes.
From Tim Fruget, who again at this time was the manager of the online store.
At that time, yes.
To Buckley Hammond, trusted Alex Jones employee and cousin.
Sure.
With attachments, correct?
That's what it looks like.
He's giving him, it appears to be, sales information for August and Google Analytics for August, correct?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Can we go down to the attachments, please? So they got sales by day here, right?
Yes.
Looks like on this month. By the way, do you know what sales platform this is? We talked about how we had 4. Do you know which sales platform this is?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
But it looks like it's, ranging from somewhere south of 40 grand to close to 120 grand a day. Yeah?
That's what it looks like, yes.
So we go down to the next page. Some more Google Analytics that he's sending Buckley.
That's what it looks like. It looks like the same screenshot of the top of the Google Analytics as in the last one.
Having seen this, would you like to revise your testimony that InfoWars doesn't use Google Analytics?
Like I said, I can only really convey what's been conveyed to me, and that's what was conveyed to me.
Right. Blake Roddy conveyed to you that they did not, right?
Right.
Let's go to Exhibit 128 and 129. Not yet in?
Correct.
Any objection?
I thought we agreed they would be.
Yeah, there is no objection. You had not previously objected.
Correct.
Okay. I offer them, Your Honor. They haven't been formally offered yet.
So we're,
Thank you. Here we are again. Now, this is Tim Fruget again on September 22nd, 2014, correct?
Yes.
And he's emailing Lydia Hernandez, correct?
That's what it looks like.
Lydia Hernandez is InfoWars' longtime internal accountant, correct?
Well, objection to the form. May I speak to Attorney Manning for a moment?
At the time this email was sent, Lydia Hernandez was InfoWars' top internal accountant, correct?
I'm not sure what her position was, so I'm not sure. I know Lydia used to work there. I'm not sure what her position was.
Ms. Paz, did you
I just can't recall what her position was.
think you knew at some point?
I just don't recall as I sit here. If you could show me something.
I would, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay. I'm
You
sorry.
don't dispute that Lydia Hernandez, because at this point you have reason to know that Lydia Hernandez was the top accountant for
Right.
InfoWars.
I
Fair
don't
enough?
have
All right.
reason to dispute it.
Tim Fruget is sending her, and we just see Google Analytics, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Let's go to the next one, 129. Get it? Yes, it was admitted along with 128. Same thing here, same day, another email. Analytics, right? For Prison Planet TV, right?
That's what it says.
And an
Yes.
audience overview. Yes?
That's what it says, yes.
Your Honor, would this be a good time for a morning break?
I think so. All right, so Mr. Ferraro will left your notepads. We will take a 15-minute morning recess, and of course, we'll continue to obey the rules of juror conduct. Recess.
All right, please.
excuse Judge to find my witness?
Absolutely.
Do we approach, Judge?
You may.
I checked the hall.
Could be in the latest. You don't want to go there. No worries. Next time we go.
I had to call the police downstairs.
No.
Sorry.
Absolutely not. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm doing my count to 10, 9, 10. There we go. Council will stipulate that the entire panel is present.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Please be seated, and whenever you're ready to remain, you may continue.
Before the break, we had been walking through a series of exhibits in which Tim Fruget, Buckley Hammond, Lydia Hernandez, and others are referring to Google Analytics, correct?
I do recall those exhibits, yes.
I'd like you to pull up the front pages, please, of each of those exhibits. You see them here before you. This is each of the exhibits we were going through earlier.
Yes.
And I want to ask you, are you prepared to say, now having reviewed these, that in fact, InfoWars uses Google Analytics, correct?
I could really only say what was conveyed to me in my conversation. I do understand that these emails show that they have talked about Google Analytics in the past.
Ms. Paz, that's a yes or a no? Shall I have you
I don't-
repeat the question?
No, I understand the question. I don't know is my answer.
So even after having reviewed these, Free Speech Systems is still telling this jury that it just doesn't know whether they use Google Analytics?
That's correct.
Okay. You remember this email from Tim Fruget to the lending guy?
I recall our conversation about that, yes.
No, actually, whether you remember the email.
Oh, you mean had I seen it before
No.
today, or?
20 minutes ago,
Yes.
when I showed you that email, you remember that?
Yes.
Tim Fruget is sending Google Analytics to a guy who wants to advertise on their website, correct?
That's what the exhibit says, yes.
And Tim Fruget is telling him all of the ways in which Google Analytics tracks their audience so that he can assess whether he wants to pay the $5,000 for a Facebook ad or whatever, correct?
That's what the purpose of the email appears to be, yes.
So at least it was important enough to Tim Fruget, correct? When he was doing business, yes?
It's a compound, Judge. I don't understand what's going on.
I'll withdraw it. When Tim Fruget was trying to sell advertising space, it was important enough to him to send Google Analytics to the lending guy.
Objection, Judge. Contents of another mind important enough to him. The document speaks for itself.
I can't say why he wrote this email or what
Fine.
he was thinking.
You're Free Speech Systems. This is your business director. Free Speech Systems can't say why its business director would have sent Google Analytics to a guy who wants to send them advertising money?
Objection, Judge. Indeed, it can't.
Overruled.
I can't speak to what's in Mr. Fruget's mind. I didn't speak to him about this particular email.
The last date here, Exhibit 128, is September 22nd, 2014. You'd agree with me?
Yes, I see that.
And on September 24th, 2014, InfoWars published an article. And the title of that article was FBI says nobody died at Sandy Hook, correct? I'm sorry. FBI says nobody killed at Sandy Hook, correct?
That's the 25th, right? That's the 24th?
No, it's not.
I don't recall
It
the
says 25th.
I don't recall the date.
And I appreciate you knowing the Ross, please.
I don't recall the date, but I do recall the article you're talking about.
I'm going to pull it up. Video. Exhibit number 67 already in evidence.
That is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you pull it up, please, Pratika? Let's just pull up, the top part.
I see it.
You see it?
Yes.
FBI says no one killed at Sandy Hook, correct?
Yes.
This is by Adon Salazar.
Yes.
What's the date?
It says September 24th, 2014.
2 days after the last email you saw from the analytics, correct?
I believe that was dated the 22nd, so yes.
Right. And you have an ad there for DNA Force Plus, correct?
I see that, yes.
And in this article, Adon Salazar reports, by the way, this article, you know, was posted to Facebook, correct?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay. This article was posted to Twitter, correct?
Yes.
This article was posted to Infowars.com?
Yes.
PrisonPlanet.com?
Yes.
Okay. And in 2014, the jury will recall, was the year that Infowars had 2.2 billion impressions on its social media platforms, correct?
I don't recall the number, but I'll accept that that's what it was.
You don't recall yesterday I had the chart up here?
Right, I just don't recall the exact number, but I don't dispute that's what it was.
Right. And let's just, real clear, let me ask you this question, yes or no. This article reporting that the FBI said no one had been killed at Sandy Hook, according to its statistics, was false. Yes?
Correct, it's not right. That's right.
Not like meaning not true, correct?
Right, FBI never said that.
But what Adon Salazar was saying to his audience was that there were these statistics that the FBI put out. And that according to Adon Salazar, those statistics said that nobody had been killed at Sandy Hook, correct?
That's what the article says, yes.
And in fact, the FBI does report crime statistics every year, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, the FBI statistics that Adon Salazar was referencing did report the murders at Sandy Hook, correct?
I believe they did.
Yes. Thank you. And let's scroll down here. This is a screenshot of the stats, right?
Yes, this is the screenshot that Adon took of the table, and he used that as the source of the article.
Right. And he referred to table 8, right?
Yes.
And Adon Salazar knew that the FBI reported the murders at Sandy Hook in a different table in the same chart, correct?
Objection. Asking about what another potential witness knew. Relevance, speculation, what he knew or didn't.
Do I know that he knew that? Based on my conversation with him, I don't think that that's true, so no.
You spoke with Adon Salazar.
I did, yes.
You asked him specifically about this article.
I did, yes.
He knew that you were preparing to testify before this jury, correct?
He knew I was going to be deposed, yes.
I mean, Adon Salazar himself was deposed, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
He knew there was going to be a trial in this case.
Yes.
Right. And he said to you, first of all, he acknowledged he was wrong, yes?
He did, yes.
But he said to you, but I didn't know it at the time, right?
Right. Would you like me to say what he said to me?
No.
But yes.
He said to you, in substance, I didn't realize it at the time.
That's what he said to me.
And he knew that you would tell this jury that, right?
He knew I would be deposed in this matter and possibly have to testify in court.
And that's what you told him, that Adon Salazar didn't realize it at the time.
That's what he conveyed to me, and
That's Free Speech System's sworn testimony here.
that's what was conveyed to me in my conversation, so yes.
And the explanation that Free Speech Systems is offering this jury is that Adon Salazar just missed it. He didn't scroll down far enough to see that actually the FBI did report the murders.
Objection to form.
Overruled.
That's what he said to me in our conversation.
So let's just accept for just a moment that Adon Salazar, who published the creepy Illuminati article, who tried to get registered at crisisactors.org, who's now writing a false article about FBI says nobody killed Sandy Hook. Let's just accept that that guy was telling you the truth for a moment. Even if we accept that, you acknowledge that if Adon Salazar had just scrolled down a little bit further in the page, he would have seen that that was false, correct?
Right, at the bottom of the page, there's an asterisk there that would have indicated to him to go check another chart.
Right. The other explanation, though, if we don't give Don Salazar the benefit of the doubt, is that he darn well knew what the statistics said on a page that he looked at and published this anyway.
Objection argumentative.
Overruled.
I don't know because I can only convey what he said to me.
Well, let's look at what happened with this. Now, on September 24th, the same day this article ran, InfoWars ran a broadcast highlighting Adon's article. Sandy Hook deaths missing from FBI report, right?
Yes.
And then the next day, September 25th, Alex Jones at Wolfgang Haugen, correct?
I don't recall the date. If we could pull up the
Sure, yeah. Why don't we do
video.
that? Why don't we
Right.
pull up that list? And while we're doing that, Ms. Paz, just to be clear to the jury, Mr. Halbig had absolutely nothing to do with this article, correct?
Oh, I don't believe he did, no.
Do you have the chart in front of you?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, do you see a listing here, Ms. Paz? September 25th, FBI says nobody killed at Sandy Hook massacre featuring Wolfgang Halbig.
September 25th. Yes, Sandy Hook deaths missing from FBI report, September 25th. Is that the one we're talking about?
No, FBI says nobody killed at Sandy Hook massacre featuring Wolfgang Halbig.
Okay. Is that on chart B? Oh, okay, I see it on chart B, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So Don Salazar writes this article on the 24th. They have a broadcast about it on the 24th. The next day, Alex Jones comes in to talk about it, right?
He does mention it, yes.
All right. So why don't we play 19A?
This is the full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, according to FBI crime statistics at FBI.gov, no one died in 2012 in Sandy Hook. It shows no homicides in that town. And that story by Don Salazar is online at Infowars.com. We'll put that on screen. Show some screenshots of those statistics for TV viewers. Again, radio listeners can go there and pull that up for themselves. But Wolfgang W. Halbig,
Okay, thank you. So that's the introduction, right?
Yes.
And obviously, Halbig's been on the show a couple times. Alex Jones knows he's going to say Sandy Hook was fake, an illusion, right?
I'm sure he would have knew he was going to say more of the same.
Yeah. And so here we have, this is 2014 now. This is nearly 2 years after the shooting, right?
Almost in September,
Right,
so
almost.
close to 2 years.
Almost 2 years. But now they have this new thing about the FBI, so they bring on Halbig, right?
I don't know if that was the reason why they brought him on that particular day.
Okay. Well, why else would they have brought him on when they titled the video, FBI says nobody killed at Sandy Hook massacre featuring Wolfgang Halbig?
I don't know. I didn't ask Alex that specific question related to this video, so I'm not sure.
So Free Speech Systems, having seen the article, having seen the title of the video, having now seen the intro to the video, is still not prepared to say that that's why they were having Wolfgang on.
I'm just not sure. I don't want to guess.
So let's go to 19D, please. Same broadcast.
Sandy Hook was loaded with toxic. It was a toxic waste zone. Alex, it's a toxic waste zone. Who is send their children to that kind of school. And that school, based on the photographs by the crime scene technicians or the Connecticut State Police, it is the filthiest, the most deplorable school that I, as a principal, have ever seen.
Sure, it was only used as a cutout. It had been closed until right before they reopened it for this event.
So here's Wolfgang Haubion telling the audience of millions that Sandy Hook Elementary School was a toxic waste dump, right? That's what he said.
That's what he said, yes.
And Alex Jones says it was a total cutout, right?
That's the word he used, yes.
Right. And a cutout is basically a set, right? Something set up as a stage to be a set, correct?
That's what I think he means by that, yes.
Going back to what we heard earlier about this total production they were putting on, they needed a set for it, right?
I would assume. I didn't ask him this specific question, so I don't know for sure, but
I mean, that's something that you would have been expected to do. You know that you were supposed to be prepared to testify about all these videos, right?
right, I watched all the videos.
Right. And you knew that you were going to be here testifying about these videos and that Alex Jones was featured in pretty much every single one, right?
Almost everyone, yes.
Right. And so, but your testimony to the jury is that you just didn't ask him about this one?
I don't know what's in his mind at the time.
So, but you'd agree with me, though, at least when it comes to the word...
As to the form, Judge.
Withdraw. When it comes to the word cutout, your testimony is it's talking about a set, right? Like a stage.
That's what I took it to mean based on what he said.
And he says that it was closed until right before.
He does say that.
Okay.
He said that a couple of times.
So, the idea here is there's this fake set. They plop everybody down there to create this hoax, the illusion of a tragedy, right?
Are you asking if that's what he means by that?
That's what's happening here, correct?
That's what he said.
Now, he says the school was closed until right before, after Halvig says it was a toxic waste dump. And did, let me see this. You're aware that, I think he said something like, how could the parents send their children to that school, right?
He said that a few times.
And the idea is, of course, that they wouldn't if it was a toxic waste, right?
I think that's what he meant by it.
Dawn Hochsprung was the principal of Sandy Hook Elementary School, correct?
Yes.
You're aware that she, testimony that she and Mary Sherlock died in the lobby when they confronted the shooter, correct?
I think that was in the report, but yes.
And Alex Jones, at the time he said this, was aware that Ms. Hochsprung had a Twitter account, correct?
Was he aware at the time that he said the school was closed?
Yes or no?
I don't know.
Have you seen Dawn Hochsprung's Twitter account?
I have not, no.
Are you aware whether throughout the fall of 2012, Ms. Hochsprung was posting pictures of what was happening in the daily activities of the school?
I have not seen the Twitter account, so no.
Have you seen her pictures about the book fair?
I haven't seen anything on her social media, so no.
About the Veterans Day breakfast they hosted?
Objection, Judge. I asked an answer repetitive at this point. He hadn't seen the Twitter account.
Sustained.
If you recall, on the very first day that Alex Jones covered Sandy, the day of the shooting, he was talking about drills, right? He said this could be a drill. You recall that?
Yes.
And he referred in that video to a Twitter photo he had seen from earlier in the year of kids doing a fire drill. Do you recall that?
In the first video?
Yes, you watched it.
Well, we watched it here.
We watched clips, but you watched the whole thing, correct?
The first video?
Correct. The video. Connecticut school massacre looks like false flag, witnesses say. You watched that video, yes?
Is that the video that I didn't see? That might have been the video that I didn't see.
You haven't seen it before you were deposed. They never gave it to you, right?
Correct.
Then you were deposed and you saw it, correct?
You mean, did I see it after I was deposed?
You saw it when you were deposed. I played it for you at your deposition, didn't I?
I don't remember. I know you played a bunch of things for me. I don't know if it was that particular video.
Okay. So
I don't remember.
Okay, so you don't recall, as you sit here right now, that on the very first day, Alex Jones acknowledged that he had seen a photo of the kids doing a fire drill. You don't recall that?
I don't remember.
And at the time, he was trying to suggest that this is a drill, right?
On the
Remember
first
that?
day? I do, yes, I do remember that.
But here he is 2 years later saying the school was closed until right before it happened, right?
That's what he says, yes.
And you've not seen Don Hoxcrone's Twitter photo from earlier in the fall of the children doing a fire drill, correct?
I have not known.
But it's hard to keep track of lies, isn't it?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Relevant.
So let's go on to the next clip. I think that was 19D we just saw. Let's go on to 19E. I'm sorry. Before you. Is the Free Speech System's position today that the school was closed?
No.
Go ahead.
I don't want that to ever happen, but I wish it was real instead of fake. That's 100 times more scary.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you right there. I wish it was real. I wish I would just go away. It's affected my entire family. It's affected my lifestyle.
They wish it was real, right?
Are you asking whether he said that? He says that, yes.
He being Alex Jones.
Alex said that, yes.
Let's go to 19G, please.
I just need help. I need the voices. I need help. And now with the FBI data showing that there are no murders in Newtown, I mean, come on. This is common sense.
Incredible. We're going to come back and talk about how folks can support you. And I do want to send some reporters up there with you as part of the investigation soon. Wolfgang is our guest, ShadyHookJustice.com supporting. He has a lot of courage and a sterling record. He's putting it all on the line to expose what we all know is pure bull. By the way, our flagship product that's so hard to get, we haven't been out of it for 12 months, a small portion of it has gotten in and will sell out in the next day or so, probably.
Did it? Go ahead, sir.
Probably quicker. But if you want to get DNA Force and other InfoWarsLife.com products, InfoWarsLife.com, and your purchase helps fund this whole operation. It takes a lot of money for an independent operation. We're not taxpayer funded.
So you saw that clip, right?
Yes.
Wolfgang pleads, I need your help, right?
I think he says that, yes.
And Alex Jones offers help. He says, I'm going to send some reporters up there with you, right?
Yes, he says I have to send some reporters up there.
And you know that he had actually already done that. Because earlier that year, do you remember the video we saw where it started out and Jones was said, conspiracy theorists shut down at the Newtown Board of Ed?
Yes, we had sent Dan Badandi up there.
Right. Dan Badandi went up there for that one.
Correct.
As a InfoWars, quote, reporter, correct?
Yes.
And that was the time Wolfgang Halbig tried to get into the United Way and the police confronted him, right?
Right, that was the same day.
Dan Badandi was with him, yes?
Yes.
And then after telling Wolfgang Halbig that he was going to send reporters up there with him, he plugged Wolfgang Halbig's website, Sandy Hook Justice, right?
Yes, I think every time he's on, he puts the website up.
Sometimes they'll just put the link in the bottom so that the viewers can see it, right?
Correct.
Sometimes Alex Jones will say the website, sandyhookjustice.com, correct?
Yes.
Sometimes they actually put up a screenshot of the website itself.
Yes.
And on that website, Sandy Hook Justice, Wolfgang Halbig's website, is entirely devoted to Halbig's claims that the shooting was fake and illusion, correct?
Yes.
And Halbig also had a link on that website to help him raise money, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. And Alex Jones encouraged his audience to support Wolfgang Halbig financially, correct?
If they wanted, yes.
Let's go to, was that G? Oh, and then right after he plugs the website, he gives his own store a little plug, right?
He does that after all of the segments.
Right.
So, yes.
Right. DNA Force Plus on this one?
Yes.
And this video obviously would have been uploaded to Infowars.com after, right?
Sure.
Would have been clipped up and titled, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And when it was, viewers could click on Infowars store and go buy a product, right?
Right.
And that's the type of thing Google Analytics would tell you, right?
Whether they clicked from that particular video, yes, you would be able to tell if you clicked from, say, Adon Salazar's article, and then they went to the store and then subsequently purchased from the store. You'd be able to tell that.
Right. And if they purchase DNA Force, it looks like it's about on sale for $129.95, yes?
At the time of that airing, yes. Yeah. I don't know what it goes for now. I don't know. At that time.
Yeah, they still sell it.
I think so, yes.
All right. So let's play 19I.
CNN admits they did fake scud attacks on themselves back in 1991, 1990. Would they stage this? I don't know. Do penguins live in Antarctica? Wolfgang W. Halbig's our guest, former state police officer in the Norfolk Customs Department, and then over the last decades created one of the biggest, most successful school safety training groups, and he just has gone and investigated, and this is phony as a $3 bill, and they've been, but man, Wolfgang, you dropped a bombshell of your scores of points, your 16 questions. If you've got a school of 100 kids, and then nobody can find them, and you've got parents laughing, and they walk over to the camera and go, and not just one, but a bunch of parents doing this. And then photos of kids that are still alive, they said died. I mean, they think we're so dumb that it's really hidden in plain view. And so the preponderance, I thought they had some scripting early on to exacerbate and milk the crisis, as Rahm Emanuel said. But when you really look at it, where are the lawsuits? There would be incredible lawsuits and payouts. But there haven't been any filed, nothing. I've never seen this. This is incredible.
That's not the first time we've seen Alex Jones mockingly cry about what happened to these families, is it?
I think we talked about another video earlier, yes.
And it's not the last time he did it either, is it?
I don't remember if he does it again, so I'm not sure, but...
And there he's talking about not just one, but a bunch of parents doing this, right?
He says that in the video, yes.
Sure does. He also says you got 100 kids and nobody can find them.
He said that in the video, yes.
Right? And he's telling his audience that they rolled in all these kids for the big production, but of course, because they were actors, nobody can find them now, right?
I don't really know what he's referring to there.
And when he refers to the pictures of children who were killed who are still alive, he's telling his audience that the children they say died are still alive. They were actors, isn't he?
I don't know what he's saying there. I know what he said.
You saw the video?
Yes.
He said you have pictures of children who died who are still alive, correct?
He said that.
And that happens because the children were faking it themselves.
Objection, argumentative, Judge. The video speaks for itself.
Overruled.
I don't know what he's referring to there. He doesn't say.
Are you able to use your powers of deduction, Ms. Paz, to tell this jury what free speech systems now knows, which is that he was referring to the children themselves as being actors?
Objection.
Sustained.
Is Ben Wheeler an actor?
Objection.
Overruled.
Is Ben Wheeler an actor?
Yes.
No, Free Speech Systems doesn't contend that he is.
Is Abiel Richmond an actor?
No.
Is Dylan Hockley an actor?
No.
Is Daniel Barden an actor?
No.
Is Emily Parker an actor?
No.
Is Bill Oldenburg an actor?
No.
Let's go to 19J, please.
I just need help. I need the voices. I need help. And now with the FBI data showing that there are no murders in Newtown, I mean, come on. This is common sense.
Incredible. We're going to come back and talk about how folks can support you. And I do want to send some reporters up there with you.
I think we already saw this one. That was G. I'm at 19J. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what tyrants always do. They push a little too far and find out people weren't scared. We were just reserved. And then the boys from the men are separated and the thugs always fall. SandyHookJustice.com. Folks, get in there and help this investigation. Fund it. Both gang will talk to you soon.
Now you can watch the Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for President TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Right now, some exciting developments in the area of research concerning supplemental iodine. It's nothing less than phenomenal.
That was September 25th. That's what we just saw, right?
I believe that was the date, yes.
The article, FBI says no one killed at Sandy Hook, was the 24th, correct?
Yes.
The first broadcast was the 24th, that same day. So we looked at it earlier.
Okay.
Then Albie comes out on the 25th.
Yes.
That's what we just saw.
Yes.
Can we pull up Exhibit 133, please?
133 is not a full exhibit, Your Honor.
It is agreed to.
It is agreed to, Judge.
So
This is an email sent 3 days later by Wolfgang Halbig to Nico Acosta, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Nico Acosta was the producer for the Alex Jones Show, yes?
Yes.
Can you read what Wolfgang writes to Nico?
You want me to read the whole thing?
I do.
Sure. Nico, please thank Alex again for his great work in helping our cause in funding our legal bill. We are receiving donations because of him. Please ask him if he would donate at least $1 as well as you to be on our Sandy Hook Justice team. Thanks again, Wolfgang.
How much money did Wolfgang Halbig get as a result of Alex Jones's encouraging his audience to support him?
I don't know.
Now, let's talk about this article. Can we pull up Exhibit 134, please? This is not yet in evidence, but it's agreed to, Your Honor.
It is agreed,
It is
Judge.
full exhibit, Your Honor.
Sorry, it's been. I had
It was admitted day one.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, this is an email from Tim Fruget, business director for InfoWars, correct?
At that time, yes.
Yes, at that time. October 14th, 2014, correct?
That's what it says.
3 weeks after the article ran and the videos ran that we just saw, right?
Yes.
And it's to a Don Salazar, the author of that false article, correct?
Yes, it's a Don, yes.
And it has some attachments. The attachments are titled Alexa Unique Visits, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Okay. Now, Alexa, I think we talked about yesterday, is another web-based program that allows you to kind of see where your rankings are as a website, correct?
I believe that's correct,
We
yes.
saw those rankings yesterday in one of the media kits where Alex Jones was on top, and then there were other media outlets below him, correct?
Right, I remember that.
Right. And none of those other media outlets that we saw yesterday, they never said Sandy Hook was fake, did they?
Which media outlets? What do you mean?
Remember we saw Rush Limbaugh?
Oh, okay. I don't believe there's been any allegations that they had said such things, so.
And then the second attachment is what?
It says Google Analytics.jpg.
Right. So let's go down to the second page. All right. John will remember this from opening. Do you see there a chart?
I see it.
And this chart is Google Analytics, correct?
I don't know if it's Google or Alexa or one of them, but it looks like Analytics.
Okay. And what you see here is a chart with dates along the bottom, correct?
Yes, I see that date range from September 22nd through October 13th.
And if you look at this line here, and I know I'm a little bit far away, but I want everybody to be able to see it. Maybe it's easier if I go over there. May I, Your Honor? Can I go over there? So let's see here. You have September 22nd, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's broken up into weeks. So you have September 22nd to September 29th, yes?
1 week period, yes.
Okay. And there are, let's see, 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 lines. So it looks like each line represents about 2 days. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So if we come to the second line, this would be September 24th, right?
Or thereabouts.
Or thereabouts. The third line might be September 26th or thereabouts.
Or thereabouts.
Fourth line, September 28th, somewhere in there. Yes?
Sure.
And what we're seeing here are a chart showing unique visitors.
Yes, that's what it says.
And unique visitors are bumping along here in September around, let's say, just shy of 500,000 a day. Yes?
About.
We're eyeballing it, right?
Right.
About 500,000 a day.
Sure, approximately.
And right around between September 24th and September 25th, when this article is published, it spikes to just under 2 million, correct?
I mean, so it looks like more than 1.5. I'll say that. It's not quite 2, but it's not 1.5. So probably more than 1.5.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not going to argue with me that there's a spike.
It looks like a spike, yes.
And that spike, you would say, goes from somewhere south of 500,000 to somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million unique visitors, correct?
Somewhere above 1.5 and less than 2, sure.
Let's go to the next chart, please. Now, this one, no, I'm sorry, Chief, if you can have the, I want to do the next spike. All right. Now, this one is measuring page views, yes?
Yes, I do.
Same idea. You got the dates on the bottom.
Yes, I see that.
All right. And what you're seeing here is bumping along, let's say somewhere between 1 and 2 million, right up until the article is published, right?
Yes, so somewhere above 1.5, but less than 2. I see that.
And then it spikes up to about 3 million. Okay, great.
About 3, yeah. That's what it
That's
looks
per day page views, yes? That's what we're measuring, page views per day.
Page views, right. Well, in that 2-day-ish period.
Right.
Right.
Right. Over the past 28 days, what you see here is they had 34.2 million page views.
Right, that's what it says.
Let's go to visits. Is there visits? There's visits. So now you see the same idea, but we're talking about visits, right?
Yes.
Bumping along here, let's say between, I don't know, 400,000 and 700,000, let's say, visits per day.
Yes,
right?
I see that.
Spikes up to over 2 million when the article's published and when the videos come out, yes?
In that period, right.
Right.
I see that.
All right. Now, let's go to the next chart. You remember there were multiple attachments here.
I saw that, yes.
All right, let's stay on that one right there. Okay. Now, similar idea here. Obviously, you recognize this to be Google Analytics, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. And you see here, again, dates along the horizontal axis beginning September 15th, right?
Yes.
All right. And Google Analytics, you testified earlier, measures things like web performance, visitors, clicks, all that stuff, right?
Sure.
So here we are, mid-September, the week, between September 15th and September 22nd. You're at about, 1 to 1.5 million, right? Page views here we're talking about. You see that?
Yeah, so on September 15th, it spikes up a little bit above 1.5. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay. So we're just focusing on this first week, right?
Right.
There's a little bit of a spike on September 15th, isn't there?
Yes.
Okay. And then it's kind of cruising along below 1.5 million until September 22nd, right?
Right, it hovers around 1.5 million and drops off.
Okay, let's pull back from the chart here. Just focus on my questions, Ms.
Sure.
Okay? And here again, in the next week, between September 22nd and September 29th, you'd agree with me that page views...
Objection to the form, Judge.
It's fine, right? Am I correct that page views jumps up to just under 3 million over the 2 days when this article was published and the videos were broadcast?
Yes, I do see the spike that you're pointing to, just under 3 million page views.
And this period covers, let's say, I don't know, September 13th to about October 13th, right? It's about a month of data, yes?
Yeah, give or take. Doesn't say the exact dates, but...
And what Google Analytics is telling you here in this chart is that 33.4% of all page views during this month were new visitors, correct?
The green slice of the pie?
That's right.
Yes.
See, green means new visitor, right?
Yes.
Blue means returning visitor.
Yes.
And for this month, 33.4% of the people visiting were new, right?
That's what it says, yes.
Let's go to the next chart, please. Is that it for that one? Okay. Okay, great. Now, let's pause. Having seen all that now. By the way, why did Tim Fruget send all those analytics to Adon Salazar, who wrote that article?
Objection to the form, Judge.
I don't know. I didn't ask about it.
You don't know. Having seen that, and now coupling that with all the other emails we saw during the preceding 2 months about Google Analytics, will the free speech systems now tell this jury that yes, it did in fact use Google Analytics?
I'm sorry, I have just the same answer. I don't know.
Let's pull up. Exhibit 135, please. It's agreed to, Your Honor.
I think it's already in.
It is.
135 is not in yet.
Oh, agreed.
All right. Now, here we are again, October 9th. What was the date of the last one? Remember? Okay. I'll tell you. The email we just saw that Tim Frugier sent to Adon Salazar was October 14th. This is October 9th, just a few days earlier. Yeah?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Okay, it's Tim Frugier again
Yes.
sending a Google Analytics Facebook example to a guy named Rob R. Who's that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure as I sit here. I'm sorry.
You can tell from the email address he's an InfoWars employee.
Yes. Yes.
All right. And let's bring up that Analytics Facebook example. All right. Let's pull up now. You see here, this is September 23rd, right?
That's what it says, yes.
Am I correct, ma'am? I know Free Speech Systems testimony here over and over again is that it doesn't know whether it used Google Analytics, but do you know whether Google Analytics was available to InfoWars to also track its performance on social media?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Let's pull up this, just the pie chart here with all the colors. Okay. I'm sorry. Should have said with the date as well. Now, can you remind the jury when that article, FBI says nobody killed a Sandy Hook, was published?
Is that a question to me?
It is.
I believe it's September 24th.
Right. So this is the day before, right?
That's what it looks like.
And what it shows here are the top channels through which people are arriving to Infowars.com, correct?
Oh, how they're getting to the website, yes. So
How they're getting to the website.
direct search, organic search, yes, that's
Right.
what it looks like.
Right. And so what you see here is direct visitors. What that means is people just type in Infowars.com because they want to go there.
Right.
Organic search means people are searching for Infowars.com and it's sent to them, correct?
Or it's coming up on search terms. If they're say they search Alex Jones or they search a particular topic and they're coming up on the Google search results organically.
Organically.
Right. So it would include search terms, not necessarily just InfoWars.
Right. So somebody's searching on Google, quote, FBI says nobody killed a Sandy Hook. They're coming to Infowars. That's an organic search, right?
Right.
And so the direct, on September 23rd, I'm going to come this way because I'm in the jury's way. The direct, and you have the screen in front of you, right? On the day before they publish this article is 39.3% of all visitors are coming direct. They know they want to go to Infowars.com, type it in, go, right?
That's what it says, yes.
25% are searching for something on Google, Infowars.com comes up, they click on it, they come. Yes?
Right.
24.2% are clicking on a link on social media, correct?
That's what that says, yes.
And then they're coming to Infowars.com through that link.
Right.
Okay. 10% are being referred from another website. That means that, because you know that Infowars.com at this time was paying to advertise itself on other websites, right?
Right.
And so they do that to get more visitors to their site, so another website had referred them there, right?
Right.
And then there's, okay. And then it looks like there's two other categories that are not depicted here. One is email, right?
Yes.
You know that Infowars had a daily email newsletter that would go out.
Yes, it has a newsletter.
Okay, and so people can click on, and that newsletter contains links to all the stories that InfoWars runs that day.
Right.
Okay, so you get an email in your inbox. Good morning. Here's the latest stories from InfoWars. Right.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now let's go down the page a little bit. And whereas the pie chart showed the percentages, this shows the numbers. Yes.
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Okay. And so on September 23rd, the day before the article runs, they had a total of 543,000 sessions. Yes.
Yes.
31% of those were new.
New sessions. Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. So let's go down to the next day. Here we are on September 24th, right?
Yes.
This is the day the article runs. Yes.
Yes.
And just to remind the jury, this is an email sent 3 weeks after the article ran, right?
This chart is in the email. I believe that's the date. Yes, in early October.
3 weeks
Right.
after the article runs, Tim Fruget, the business director, is putting together numbers for these dates, right?
That's what it looks like.
On the day the article runs, do you remember on the chart before? Let's go back up just to remind everybody. The pie chart, yeah. On September 23rd, you remember that social media was 24.2% of traffic to InfoWars.com, right?
I see that. Yes.
Let's go to the next one. On the 24th, social media more than doubles as a source for traffic to InfoWars.com, right?
That's what it looks like.
It
Yes.
goes from 24 to 54% of all traffic coming to InfoWars.com is being sent from social media, correct?
That's what it says. Yes.
This is the year Alex Jones had 2.2 billion impressions on social media, correct?
I don't recall the number, but I know we talked about that yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
And whereas before, on the day before, the direct traffic, that is people coming to InfoWars.com, is now in half, right?
Right. That's what it says.
Right. And so it's possible we're seeing here, according to InfoWars Google Analytics, is Adnan Salazar's false article taking off on social media and resulting in traffic to InfoWars.com.
Objection, Judge. Argumentative. Overruled.
That's what we're seeing.
I don't know what caused the spike, but as we said earlier, his article would have been posted to all of our social media outlets. So, I mean, could it have been? Yes, it could have been.
Well,
I don't know if I'm looking at this, what they're clicking on from social media.
right. But you do know that the email we just showed had Tim Fruget sending Adnan Salazar, the author of the article, similar data about performance over the weekend, correct?
I saw the email, yes.
And now we're seeing just a few days before Tim Fruget putting this together for the exact same week, correct?
For the same 2-day period, yes.
And you know that over this same time period, because of all this increased social media traffic coming to InfoWars, its revenue spiked as well, correct?
I'd have to see the numbers, but
I'll show you that in a minute.
sure.
So on the day the article is published, social media accounts for more than half of all referrals to InfoWars.com, right?
That's what it says, yes.
All right, let's go down to the next part of this. Okay. Now again, thank you. You read my mind. September 23rd, you'll recall that the total sessions the day before the article was published was 543,000, right?
Yes.
Let's
see
go
that.
to September 24th. I want to see the sessions down a little bit further. Thank you. Okay. It goes from 540-some thousand to 1 million sessions on the day it's published, correct?
I see that, yes.
Okay. 583,000, more than half of it now coming from social media, correct?
I see that, yes.
Let's go to September 25th. Yeah, you had it. There you go. Yep. The pie chart. I'm sorry. Yes. All right, September 25th. September 25th is the day Alex Jones has Wolfgang Halbig on the show. We saw that, right?
Right.
To talk about the article. Remember the title?
Right. He talks about other things too, but
Correct.
Including the article, yes.
He talks about the cutout,
Yes.
right? He talks about the toxic waste dump, right?
Yes.
Alex Jones does the mock crying, correct?
Yeah, he talked about a few things.
He
yes.
talks about 100 kids that no longer can be found, right?
He said that in the video, yes.
He talks about photos of kids who they say died who are still alive. Talks about all that, yes?
He said that in the video, yes.
This is the day he did that.
I think that's the same day, yes.
Right. And now on this day, we saw on the day before, the day the article was published, social media went from about 24% to over 50%, right? Of the referral traffic.
Yes.
Now it's up to how much?
80, is that an 86.3?
That looks like 66.
Okay, 66.3.
That's what it looks like to me.
Sorry. It's hard to tell on the screen. 66.3.
Okay, 66.3. Spikes again, right?
That's what it looks like.
Okay. And now, direct traffic to Infowars.com. People who actually know they want to go there is only at 20%, yes?
Yes.
So everybody, all these extra people that are coming to Infowars.com are getting there from social media, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And when they get there, they're seeing ads, right?
When they get where? To the article?
Infowars.com.
Oh, yes.
They're seeing ads.
Yes.
I mean, we actually saw an ad right next to the article for DNA Force Plus.
They're on all the articles.
Right.
Every article has an ad.
Right now, I'm only asking you about one.
Sure. That article, there was an ad.
And there was a 33% sale on DNA Force, right?
I think that's what it said.
All right. Now here, let's go down to the numbers now, TJ. On September 24th, it was just over 1 million sessions in the day, right?
I recall that, yes.
Now it's at 1.7 million, right?
That's what it says, yes.
With 1.1 million coming from social,
That's what it says.
dwarfing all the other sources of referrals, correct?
It is the largest source.
Okay, let's pull out of that. Let's go down. Is there one for the 26th? Now, still going here, right? Now, the 26th is a little bit down. It had been 66% on the day of the video broadcast with Halbig. Now we're 1 day on. Social media is still way above where it was before the article was written, but it's starting to ebb a little bit down to 53% of all sources to the Infowars.com, right?
Right, I see that.
It's down from 66 to 53.
53, yes. I see that.
Let's go down to the numbers, please. And the day before, you had seen 1.7 million total sessions. It's down to 950,000, right?
Yes.
And the day earlier, on the day of the broadcast, social media as a source of referrals had been at about 1 million, and now it's just over 500,000, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so now it's coming down, right?
Yes.
So what we're seeing now is the backside of that spike we saw in the other charts, correct?
That's what it looks like.
All right. Let's go down to the next, if there is an X. Okay, 27, and we're seeing that same phenomenon here. Now we're 2 days after the video broadcast, right?
Yes.
Social media starting to come down again as a source for referral, yes?
Slightly, yes.
Right, what had it been 50?
Yeah, I was like 52% or something
So, it's
to
still
that
down, so
effect.
that article's still doing okay, right?
Objection, speculative.
I think we said earlier, I'm not really sure how they were getting there from social. So it's from social. It depends on how many posts there were that day and what posts they were clicking on
Right.
that day. So I can't say for sure which posts they were clicking on.
Right, so you're not going to testify here under oath, are you? That the article published on September 24th, 2014, and the video on September 24th, 2015, and September 25th, 2014, you're not going to tell this jury that that article and those videos are the reasons for these spikes, are you? You're not going to tell them that.
I would be speculating. I don't know for sure.
I mean, you have all this evidence in front of you, but you still
Objection.
speculation.
Sustained.
So on September 27th, it's going down. Now direct referrals are creeping back up, right?
I see that, yes.
Let's go down to the 28th. Okay. And now you have direct, which is now in blue. Direct now comprises the plurality, right? 34.8% of all referrals are now back to being direct, yes?
I see that, yes.
And social media, close behind, but now not the top referral.
I see that, yes.
Okay. All right. Now what I want to do, Ms. Paz, is I want to bring up, now you testified yesterday. And you've heard the testimony of David Jones and Tim Boucher, that the business model here is maximize audience to the website and then send them to the store and hopefully they buy stuff. That's the business model.
Right.
All right. So what I'm going to do now, do we have that exhibit? One moment, Your Honor. Thank you. 278 is not it, right? 278. Correct. Can we bring up exhibit 278 for Ms. Paz, please?
This is not a photo.
That's right, just for Ms. Paz. Ms. Paz, may I have a moment, please?
Take your time.
I'm ready. Thank you. One of the things that you were asked to prepare on was revenue to InfoWars, correct?
Yes, I believe that was one of the topics.
And you testified yesterday that between 2012 and today, withdraw that. Between 2012 and the moment you were testifying yesterday, InfoWars had made hundreds of millions of dollars, correct?
I said I couldn't subscribe to a number because I would just have to see the numbers, but yes, it's millions and millions of dollars.
No. Yesterday, you agreed that InfoWars during that time period had made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, although you didn't know the precise number, correct?
Right, I don't know the number. I don't know the precise number.
But that's what you testified to. I just want to make it very, very clear, because just now, a moment ago, you tried to say that you had testified that they had made millions and millions. But what you said yesterday was that InfoWars had made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars between 2012 and the date of your testimony.
I don't remember, but I'll accept what you're saying. I mean, I know that they've made millions and millions of dollars. I just don't want to say how much because I just don't recall. I wanted to refresh my recollection of how much.
You're the corporate representative for Free Speech Systems, correct?
Yes?
You're required to prepare yourself to testify about the revenue that Free Speech Systems received, correct?
Yes, I was asked.
I am not asking you for a precise number. Let's start here. Are you able to testify as Free Speech Systems corporate representative that between the years 2012 and yesterday, Free Speech Systems has made more than $100 million?
I think that's fair.
Are you able to testify that it's made more than $200 million?
I don't know. I would like to see the numbers.
Are you able to testify that it's made more than $1 billion?
Judge, badgering at this point.
Overruled.
I don't think it's made $1 billion, so no, it hasn't.
Okay. So your testimony right now as you're testifying to this jury is that you can testify under oath that Free Speech Systems has made somewhere between $100 million and $1 billion between 2012 and yesterday, correct?
No, I think what I said was I don't know what the number is.
I'm asking you a different question now.
Okay.
You just testified that, yes, you can tell this jury InfoWars has made over $100 million, but you're not willing to tell them that it's made $1 billion. So now I'm focusing on this range, that at least you're willing to testify to this range. And the range that I just heard you testify to is, you can tell this jury that Free Speech Systems has made over $100 million since 2012, and between $1 billion, but that's as specific as you can get, right?
Without seeing documents, yes.
Okay. So let's look at, you have the exhibit, right?
Yes.
Now, InfoWars produced some sales revenue in this case, correct?
I believe it has, yes.
And one of the platforms that you testified earlier that Free Speech Systems makes money over is InfoWarsShop.com.
One of the ways, yes.
And InfoWarsShop.com was, in 2014, was the principal online, the main online store for Free Speech Systems, right?
I think that's fair, yes.
In 2015, they transferred over to InfoWarsStore.com.
Right.
But before 2015, it was InfoWarsShop.com.
Yes.
And Free Speech Systems produced sales revenue for 2014 occurring over InfoWarsShop.com, correct?
I believe we did, yes.
And that's what you see before you, yes?
I think that's what this is, yes.
I'll offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge.
So ordered.
Now, Mr. Shabby, could you please pull up, well, just pull up the main exhibit so the jury can see it. All right. And actually, there were some some sales reports that were produced year by year, but InfoWarsShop.com was produced for all the years that it had data for, according to InfoWars, correct?
Right.
All right. And so what we're seeing here, this is row 1, right? According to this sheet, on May 25th, 2010, that's the first date for which InfoWars provided data, correct?
That's what this says, yes.
All right. We'll deal with the rest of it later. Why don't we go down to September 2014? Here we go. I'm going to start with you on September 20. Well, let's just look at the few days before, starting September 19th, okay? On September 19th, you agree with me that InfoWars reported 60,000 in daily sales, yes? Just on this website, yes?
That's what it says, yes.
On the next day, it was 43,000 just on this website, yes?
Yes.
On September 21st, it was 45,000.
That's what it says, yes.
On September 22nd, it was 62,000.
Yes.
On September 23rd, it was 56,000.
Yes.
On September 24th, this is the day the article was published, yes?
The 24th, yes.
It's 48,000, right?
That's what it says, yes.
The article then, and you recall that on September 24th is when the social media was still a minority percentage of the overall traffic, right?
I do remember that, yes.
On September 24th, the revenue over this platform goes from $48,000 to $232,000 in a day, right?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay. That's like a 500% increase?
My math is terrible, so I don't know the percentage.
Okay. And the next day, and this is the day the next day we saw data, social media on the 25th and on the 26th had jumped to first place as referral source for revenue, right? I'm sorry, referral source for website traffic.
I recall that, yes.
Right. And it's ebbing off a little bit, but it goes from 232,000 to 128,000, right?
Yes, that's what it says.
Still more than twice what it was on September 25th, right?
It is more, yes.
And then it starts to drop off again, correct?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Turning out it's approaching the lunch hour, so when it's...
Your Honor, this would be a perfect time.
All right.
Okay. I'm just asking one question.
You may.
Ms. Cox, now having seen all of those analytics, is it still Free Speech Systems testimony to this jury that it just doesn't know if it uses them?
It uses what? Google Analytics?
Yes, sir.
Same answer, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll take the lunch recess. We'll be back, if you could get back by 5:02 so that we can promptly start at 2 p.m. Ron, we know the routine now. We'll collect your notepads. So keep them secure. I don't want to just keep saying the same thing over and over again, but if you are going to leave the building to enjoy the nice weather, just make sure you steer clear of the witnesses and the lawyers and the media, right? And I hope you all have a nice lunch. I am going to stay on the record to address something with council. So have a nice lunch. I'll see you in a sidebar, council. All of you. So you know how keep the line between the sections, and you're doing it at well, you did better. You're better. Put me on the spot. I can't see the witnesses back. It's I don't want to say it. You asked, and I didn't want it. But then I saw your back, and I couldn't see what you're doing when you were doing it, and I don't. I'm sorry. And I don't want. No, I just can't see that whole. You were turned. You're blocking the screen anyway. Now, I just don't want anyone in that area. I just feel like it's just there's no. Understood. Thing. I just want to give them more space. That's all.
Yeah, understood. I forgot that.
Well, you did ask, and I said yes.
Can I get some plastic?
You can ask about it. No, I'm not easy there.
Can you hear attorney's house?
Yeah, it's just
About what?
It's about the courtroom, where things are. So if we're going to use a screen with a witness, like a big screen that's for example, to show documents.
I have my own screen. I'm not sure. Just not there because it's too.
So where should we put the screen?
Wherever you all agree.
So if you put it there, you have to put some secure.
I don't want
to roll the screen around here.
Why don't you guys talk about it? Just to make, I think Ron was concerned that the screen was blocking the tree pads.
Okay, awesome. Well, so we'll talk about what we can be.
So you guys talk about that because I know where they were having screen first Ron was like it because he thought it was blocking the defense team.
Well,
so I know it's hard.
Judge, you don't want Chris or me on that side of the screen either. You don't want to see my phone. Right.
I don't because I cannot have the witnesses back.
I just understand. Try to work out.
She was making a case, just so you know. Because she was down in the
Wow. I really just, I had potential. You cannot.
How about you drink? Let me talk to Ron if they can do it. Right. Well, not here, because I want to be on the record. But yours, when yours.
It's really hard to make some noise when you touch it.
And the other thing is,
but
if we turn it off,
we can speak. You can hear us. The question is, can you just turn off our table?
I concur. I've never had a case with a hot mic that, hey, I don't have a client sitting there. Mr.
I was listening to this.
well, I told you that. I told you that it's something to take out. Okay, let me see how I can fix that, okay? All right, so we will take the lunch recess.
All rise, please. Court now stands in lunch recess.
Thank you, sir.
So, Chris, yes, I'm in the